that was August 4 pag makipag-usap sa tungkol po dun sa audit care. Well, sa oras mong ito, ikunin muna natin ang linya ng ating beat reporter mula po doon sa Senate Impeachment Court. Walang iba kundi si Axel Rajuman Sais, Conde Batak. Magandang hapon, Rajuman Conde. Kamusta na dyan?
Rajuman Alex, muling nag-resume o nagpapatuloy itong impeachment trial. Day 13 na po ng paglilitis para sa impeachment case ni Vice President Sara Duterte, kung saan ay nagpapatuloy itong interjection ng mga senator judges. Pero sa mga oras na ito ay may mga proposal ang respondent para i-stipulate yung mga sumusunod. I think ito yung mga dokumento or yung mga tawag nito, yung mga papel na ipipresenta pa nila ng kanilang testigo. At kanina nabanggit mo nga yung pag-question kanina ni Senator Raffy Tulfo doon sa pagpunta ni Attorney Michael Poa ng defense team sa COA, sa tanggapan ng COA. At kung mababatid natin, nilinaw ni Presiding Officer Cheese Escudero na hindi naman respondent o hindi si Poa yung nasasakdal, kundi si Vice President Sara Duterte. At abogado rin kasi nitong si VP Sara, itong si Attorney Michael Poa. So walang conflict of interest doon sa kanyang pagpunta. And mostly yung mga naging tanong ng ating mga senator judges ay tungkol doon sa paggamit na ng alias or code names at kung ano ba talaga ang confidential, yung salitang confidential na yan na kanina ay pinaliwanag nitong si COA Auditor Roderick Wamil na hindi siya nasasaad. Walang clear words or walang mismong nakasaad na bawal gumamit ng alias or code name. So, pero kung tatanggap sila ng mga dokumento para sa kanilang auditing and evaluation, kailangan totoong tao at totoong pangalan. Ngayon naman, wala silang means to verify kung talagang totoong tao or peke yung pangalan, like yung Mary Grace Piatos, kasi limited lang sa kung anong nakasaad doon sa joint circular yung kanilang trabaho. So yung pag-receive lang ng mga documents and yung pag-evaluate lang ng mga dokumento, yun lamang yung kanilang pinakatrabaho. But nagkakaroon lang ng problema dahil walang kulang-kulang na yung mga dokumento na isinumite ng Office of the Vice President. So wala silang official receipt, walang sales invoice na magpapatunay na ito yung mga pinaggamitan or pinaggastusan para sa confidential funds. Ang meron lamang sila ay acknowledgement receipt na ayon nga kay Wamil sa mga ahensyang kanyang na-evaluate, ito lang yung agency, yung OVP, ang puro acknowledgement receipt ang isinumite. So wala silang basis to prove na meron ngang pinagdalan or totoo yung list na binigay na ito nga yung pinagkagastusan.
Na-purchase ba talaga yun o hindi?
Oo, like yung mga gamot. Yung ba yung talagang naibayad sa agent kasi parang payment reward pero payment reward pero gamot ang pinangbayad o pinambili para dun sa country funds. Pero walang basis. Ano bang gamot yun? Ilang piraso, ganyan, or magkano halaga.
Wala
lang na ipakita. Oo. At suspended muna itong paglilitis. I think dahil na may mga dokumento silang need i-stipulate or i-check or markahan. I think maya-maya lamang magbabalik ulit Rajuman Alex itong ating impeachment trial. Pero bago yan, kanina may ilang mga senador ang nagtanong kung saan may mga interjection din katulad kay Senator Judge J.B. Ejercito na base sa kanilang ginawang pag-audit at pag-imbestiga lumabas. O tinanong ito kung lumabas na nakinabang ba o nagbenepisyo itong si VP Sara. Or siya ba talaga yung tumanggap, nagamit ba niya for personal interest. Pero ayon kay Wamil, base sa kanilang audit, parang prima facie, parang tawag nito, paano ko ba explain, meron silang sa una pa lang, parang makikita na nila yung evidence kasi katulad kahapon, kinukoy yung dapat na kaya mayroong confidential funds at kaya meron silang rule ay parang hindi ito magamit sa ibang mga bagay. At pag sinasabing confidential funds, ito ay pondo pa rin ng taong bayan. So kailangan may rules silang sinusunod sa auditing. So kailangan kumpleto pa rin ng detalye. Hindi ibig sabihin na confidential funds, secret na yun. So ito'y pondo pa rin.
Kaya di ba kanina may parang mungkahi din si Senator Judge Tito Soto na kung pwede daw parang non-public funds, yung tawag ba nun? Ni Senator Soto, kung pwede.
Dito, i-amend.
I-amend,
i-amend nila or para baguhin nila yung word. Kasi kung confidential, ang sabi nga ni Senator Judge Tito Soto, pag confidential kasi, intelligence, so talagang hindi pwedeng sabihin yan. Kaya medyo nagkakaroon ng confusion. So parang ang gawin na lamang is restricted funds or non-public funds na private pa rin naman siyang may tuturing pero pwedeng makalkal or pwedeng maisapubliko yung kung ano man yung detalye na yon. Kasi kapag ginamit mo yung word na confidential, pag sinabi yun, classified yung information na to. Once classified, hindi mo talaga siya pwedeng i-divulge or disclose. Oo, yun pa. Pero yun lamang, hinarang to ni Presiding Officer Cheese Escudero kasi hindi pwedeng magbigay ng opinion dito yung kanilang testigo. Kasi parang patanong yung hinihingi ni Soto yung opinion nitong si Wamil. Pero hindi kasi sila pwedeng sumagot ng ganon yung mga testigo nila. So, sa ngayon ay naka-break pa rin Radyoman Alex. Maya-maya di lang natin sure kung mga ilang Senate minutes to. Kasi pag sinabing 1 Senate minute or 3 minutes,
ilang minutes ba talaga
yun? Minsan ng almost an hour. So, hindi rin natin sure. Pero I think babalik din sila maya-maya dahil hanggang 2:30 lang dahil mamayang 3:00 meron tayong session naman. Ibang trabaho naman ang magiging tungkulin ng ating mga senator judges.
Okay.
So, mamaya po, we'll try to, babalik talaga tayo para sa live update pa rin, dito pa rin sa impeachment trial. At Article 1 pa rin po yung tinatalakay dito. Yes. Ito yung 612.5 million pesos na confidential funds sa ilalim ng Office of the Vice President at yung Department of Education. Noong DepEd Secretary ang ating PISE. Yes. So, yan muna, pinakahuling pangyayari. Mamaya ay magbabalik tayo para sa ilan pang update. Kasama mo sa Senado, Radyoman Sais, Conde Batak, Tatak RMN-DZXL 558.
Ang paglilitis sa Pangalawang Pangulo. RMN Networks Special Coverage.
Ayan mga kasama, maraming salamat sa ating beat reporter mula po doon sa Senate Impeachment Court, si Radyoman Sais, Conde Batak. And nabanggit po niya yung mga ilan lang sa mga kaganapan kanina doon po sa Senate Impeachment Court. Oras po natin for 10 minutes. Makalipas po ang 1:00 ng hapon, magbabalik pa po ang DZXL 558.
This time check is brought to you by MX3. Dito ako believe.
That news was brought to you by ACS Manufacturing Corporation, ISO certified world-class quality.
ACS. Ang kinis na niya.
In fairness, nag-glow up.
May budget.
So solid. White Rose Papaya, wow. White Rose. White Rose Papaya, wow. White Rose. White Rose Papaya. May glow up with White Rose Papaya.
Puti sulit ang glow up sa White Rose Papaya. May papaya, niacinamide para sa puti power times 2. Plus shea butter and tea tree oil.
Glow up with the power of 2.
White Rose Papaya. Puti sulit ang glow up. Regular use helps. Results may vary. White Rose Papaya. Manufactured by ACS ISO certified world-class quality.
Santon Plus Herbal Capsule.
Ako si Joseph. 5 years na akong Santon Plus Herbal Capsule user. Walang ibang gamot na nakapagpagaling sa aking cirrhosis of the liver, kundi Santon Plus Herbal Capsule lang. The best talaga.
Santon Plus Herbal Capsule. Mabibili sa mga butika.
Mamma mia, here I go again.
Manila, get ready. Celebrate 50 years of Dancing Queen with the world's #1 ABBA show. It's a sing-along, dance-along extravaganza, packed with all the hits and all the fun. Saturday, August 8th and Sunday 9th at the Theater at Soler, Manila. Tickets available now to Soler Box Office, Ticket World outlets, and online. You will have the time of your life. Presented by Concert Republic.
soap. Patay ang 99.9% of bacteria and virus tested. Believe ang mga eksperto sa Philippine Nurses Association.
Sa sakit protektado, i-shield mo. Pamilya protektado, i-shield mo.
Shield Bath Soap, manufactured by ACS Manufacturing Corporation. ISO certified, world-class quality.
ACS.
Mapa-on cam sa TV o on air sa radyo, aba, dapat laging lively at full of energy. Hello, beautiful people! Ako ang inyong tita Winnie Cordero, always at your service. Hindi pwedeng lalamya-lamya. Kaya ang partner ko sa trabaho, MX3 Capsule, coffee at tea. MX3 Capsule, dito ako bilib.
Mahalagang paalala, ang MX3 capsule ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat gamiting panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit.
MX3, tunay, natural at original.
Goodbye to me, Masya. Hello, bright bar blue. Isang labanan yan. Bright bar blue.
Pride Bar Blue with powerful stain-away enzymes. Malupit magtanggal ng dumit mancha pero di masakit sa kamay.
Goodbye to me, Masya. Hello, bright bar blue. Isang labanan yan.
As tested ang cotton and polycotton. Sa mancha, malupit. Sa kamay mo, mabait. Pride Bar Blue. Manufactured by ACS Manufacturing Corporation. ISO certified. World-class quality.
ACS.
Santon Gold Coffee Mix.
Ako si Malisang teacher. Sabi nila, okay sa joints ang collagen. Ang Santon Gold Coffee Mix ay may collagen. Masubukan nga. Totoo. Nabawasan nga ang joint discomfort ko. At sa lasa ng kape, panalo.
Santon Gold Coffee Mix. Nagkape ka na, lalaka at gaganda ka pa. Mabibili sa mga butika.
Charm Fab Gold. Bakit makapun sa charm? Walang amoy kulong. Kahit sampay sa loob.
Charm Fabric Conditioner with Bloom Fresh Technology. May antibacterial na at ka-bloom sa bango ang damit.
Charm Fab Gold. Bakit makapun sa charm? Walang amoy kulong. Kahit sampay sa loob. Bangong kumakabloom sa charm.
Charm Fabric Conditioner. Manufactured by ACS Manufacturing Corporation. ISO certified. World-class quality.
ACS.
Abangan ang mapapanalunang ACS Gift Pack, cash prize at marami pang iba mula sa Pride Detergent, Dilang Puti, Kisla Puti, at ng Charm Fabric Conditioner. Damit ay may bangong ka-bloom. Sobrang dali lang nito mga kasama. Kaya ano pang hinihintay ninyo? Makinig at makilahok sa DZXL News, ACS Huli Ka, ngayong August 14, 2026. Handog sa inyo ng Radio Mindanao Networks kasama ang Pride Detergent, Dilang Puti, Kisla Puti, at ng Charm Fabric Conditioner. Damit ay may bangong ka-bloom.
For the Lord takes delight in His people. He crowns the humble with victory. I am Venus Ra, a beauty queen, youth advocate, and a servant of God. And I use my voice now to spread the word of God. Of course, with the help of MX3 Capsule, with proper diet and exercise. Tunay, natural, at original. Parang pag-ibig ng Diyos sa atin. Kaya sa MX3, dito ako bilib.
Mahalagang paalala, ang MX3 capsule ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat gamiting panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit.
MX3, tunay, natural at original.
Para di madaling masira ang ngipin ng pamilya, ngayon pa lang,
Unique toothpaste for brushing every after kumain.
dahil ang Unique Toothpaste may Max Protect formula.
Ngipin ay Max Alaga, Max Protektado pa.
Helps stop cavities even before they start, while keeping breath fresh with regular use.
Unique toothpaste for brushing para siguraduhin ngipin ay Max Alaga, Max Protektado pa. Unique
Max Alaga, Max Protectado with Unique Toothpaste Maximum Fluoride Protection. Manufactured by ACS Manufacturing. ISO certified, world-class quality.
ACS.
DZXL 558. Ang paglilitis sa Pangalawang Pangulo. RMN Networks Special Coverage.
Oras natin mga kasama, 21 minutes makalipas po alauna ng hapon. Nagbabalik pa rin po tayo sa nagpapatuloy na impeachment trial, Day 13. Kaya Vice President Sara Duterte ngayong araw po ng Wednesday, Miyerkules na, August 5 mga kasama. Napakabilis ang araw, ano po? And napakabilis din, 13 na. Pero kung nasa 90 plus po, grabe no, nasa 90 plus pa or maybe more than 80 days pa tayo sa impeachment trial. So ganun ang mangyayari sa atin. So every Monday, Tuesday to Wednesday, weekly po yan, ay meron po tayong coverage sa impeachment trial. And kanina po balikan din natin yung iba pang mga nangyari po doon, mga kaganapan sa Senado, Senate Impeachment Court. Natanong po ni Senator Judge Bam Aquino itong si dating COA FAO State Auditor Roderick Wamil about po doon kung may nagkaroon ba ng changes sa rules doon sa 1992 COA circular patungo dun sa 2015 na COA circular. And according to Wamil, nagkaroon ng kumbaga provision, nagkaroon po ng kind of changes din para tiyakin daw po na yung paggamit ng pondo, itong confidential funds, ay properly accounted at hindi po magamit sa personal na hindi magkaroon ng personal use ito, no? And ayon po sa kanya, yung paggamit po kasi ng confidential fund at intelligence fund ay kailangan ng strict accounting at auditing rules. Kung kaya po parang nagkaroon ng pagbabago doon po sa Circular 2015 at nakapaloob na nga po doon yung provision ng sabi pa niya sa 2015-01, doon daw specified na talaga, kumbaga very specific na yung dapat na ang confidential ay gagamitin lang for civilian government agencies and yung intel funds naman ay gagamitin lang din ng uniform and military personnel also, as well as yung mga intelligence practitioner mga kasama. So yun ang pinag-usapan kanina about pa rin sa confidential funds dahil ito'y nasa Article 1 pa rin po tayo. Ito'y pangalawang article pa lang na tinatalakay po sa impeachment trial ni VP Sara Duterte. And kanina nga nabanggit ni Radyoman Conde kung allowed po ba yung paggamit ng code name, so alias pagdating po sa confidential. Sabi po ni Wamil, paggamit po ng alias sa confidential funds ay neither prohibited or allowed. Sa ilalim daw po yan ng joint memorandum circular ng kanilang ahensya ng Commission on Audit or COA. Ito'y natanong din kasi ni Senator Judge Bam Aquino sa kanya kung allowed nga yung code name or alias. And based daw po sa provision ng joint circular, yun nga po na it's neither allowed or prohibited since silent daw po yung joint circular ng kanilang ahensya. And about naman po dun sa pinasaksauli ng ilang parte ng confidential funds ng OVP, nilinaw po nitong si Wamil na wala siyang personal na kaalaman, so wala siyang patungkol dito sa tanong naman to ni Senator Judge Raffy Tulfo sa pagpapasauli nga po ng confidential funds ng Office of the Vice President. Kasi dalawa to yung confidential fund ng OVP at nung secretary pa po si Vice President Sara Duterte ng Department of Education o DepEd. Tanong po ni Tulfo, anong reason kung bakit daw pinasasuuli ang parte lang to ng confidential funds na disallowed. Ayon po kay Wamil, wala siyang personal knowledge about it dahil hindi siya yung nag-issue ng notice of disallowance during that time. So dagdag pa po niya nang ma-issue po yung notice of disallowance, nalipat na po pala siya sa ibang tanggapan po ng Commission on Audit or COA. And ito pa yung about pa rin to sa it's neither allowed or prohibited yung mga aliases or code name. And then natanong din kasi ito ni Senator Judge Erwin Tulfo kanina kasi yung mga, di ba doon, yung mga, asan ba si Don? Yung mga pangalan po kasi, ayan, yung pangalan po kasi na nakalagay doon, kabilang po yung pangalang Mary Grace Piatos, ayan. Meron pang Chippy McDonald, Andy Lim, na ayon nga po kay attorney ni House Private Prosecutor Attorney Lorna Kapunan, kaya daw po hindi niya mabasa dahil Andy Lim daw po. Andy Lim, hindi mabasa dahil nakapikit si Andy Lim. Yung biro niya doon. Komedyante rin pala tong si Attorney Kapunan. Para kasi pag binasan nyo yung mga pangalan, di ba kaduda-duda? Para sa akin, personally, para sa akin, medyo kaduda-duda. Andy Lim. May nagbiro nga na ang asawa daw ni Andy Lim is si Madilim. yun ang sabi nila, biro lang to. Ito yung napag-uusapan, exposed din po ba daw? Ito nagtanong din po si Senator Judge Robin Hood Padilla kanina kaya Wamil, yung state auditor, dating state auditor ng COA, kung sabi po niya, exposed po ba kayo sa threat ng terrorism sa bansa natin? And yan ang tanong niya kay Wamil. Sabi po ni Wamil, wala po akong threshold or may limitation po sila pagdating po sa mga bagay na, especially isa po siyang auditor. So parang sabi nga nung mga nag-comment, medyo malayo daw yung parang katanungan nitong si Senator Robin Hood. And natanong din po ni Senator Judge ng Senator Judge na si Padilla, si Wamil, kung naniniwala ba itong dapat magpakilala ang mga confidential agent. And ayon po kay tugon naman po ni Wamil, hindi po siya, or dito sa tanong po pala ni Padilla kung humahawak daw si Wamil mismo ng investigasyon patungkol sa confidential funds, and sinagot naman po ito ni Wamil na hindi po siya investigation. Yung sinasagawa po nila ay evaluation, hindi po investigation. And I think yung papasok sa investigation, yung nauna na sa NBI, di ba? Sila yung nagsagawa ng investigation about it. And ito naman, kinwestiyon naman po ni Senator Judge Erwin Tulfo, si dating COA-ICFAO State Auditor nga po na si Wamil, kung bakit hindi daw sinampahan ng kaso ng COA sa Ombudsman ng OVP o Office of the Vice President. Kung nakita naman po niya, nakaduda-duda raw yung mga reimbursement o itong ng OVP. Ayun naman po kaya Wamil, maari lamang daw itong mai-refer sa ombudsman. Yung kaso po ang maari lamang mai-refer kapag nagkaroon na ng final order at hindi nag-comply ang OVP sa naturang order. So nanginana po ni Tulfo kung nasaan yung naturang order o ano na daw ang status nito. Sinabi po ni Wamil na wala siyang kaalaman doon sa status ng order. Balikan natin sa Senate Impeachment Court sa Radyo Mansais, Conde Batak. Radyo Mansais, magandang hapon ulit. Radyo Conde.
Alex,
Yes.
balikan na natin itong impeachment trial. Nagpatuloy ngayon, nag-resume ulit, nagbukas itong impeachment trial at binabanggit ngayon ng depensa yung mga in-stipulate nila ng mga dokumento. Kaugnay pa rin yan sa Article 1 ng confidential funds ni Vice President Sara Duterte. Pakinggan natin.
Because we also would like this honorable court, impeachment court, to appreciate the documents that will be stipulated upon, which are as important as compared as well to the documents that will not be stipulated upon, Your Honor. They will be very short in any event, Your Honor.
Counsel, stipulation does not mean that you will not present it before the witness anymore for whatever purpose it may serve.
Yes, Your Honor. It does not, these stipulations will not dispense with the need for the witness to testify and to identify the document and to attest as to its contents, Your Honor.
So just as to the authenticity of these documents and due
Yes, Your
execution,
Honor.
I guess, that's what the stipulation is being asked for? So let's go through your list, Counsel.
Okay.
Chair will instruct the counsel for the panel of prosecutors to kindly go over the list and maybe elicit a response from the counsel for respondent, whether they will stipulate or not. And you don't need to cite a reason, but you may do so also if you desire. Attorney Kapunan, you may proceed, ma'am.
With the permission of this honorable court, flashed on the screen for easy reference is a letter response dated March 13, 2024. This is Exhibit P-1-13B. And for the defense, this is Exhibit 1-120-OVP, stipulated, Your Honor.
We stipulate, Your Honor.
So noted, duly noted rather, Attorney Kapunan.
Next, Your Honor, is a notice of disallowance dated August 8, 2024, which is Exhibit P-1-13-C, and for the defense, it is Exhibit 1-108 OVP. Stipulated, Your Honor.
We stipulate, Your Honor.
Noted.
The next is Exhibit P-1-12-F, which is the response dated April 19, 2024, Your Honor. This is Defense Exhibit 1-115, Office of the Vice President and Series.
Attorney Christine,
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Can I confer with my
you may do so.
counsel? We do not stipulate, Your Honor.
Proceed, counsel. Attorney Kapunan.
Next, Your Honor, we have acknowledgement receipts for the periods February 6 to June 30, 2023, and April 25 to June 30, 2023. For the appreciation of this honorable court, Your Honor, this is Exhibits P-1-8-850 to P-1-8-1714, representing the first quarter documents of the Office of the President and the second quarter documents of the Office of the Vice President. The first quarter is 519 documents. The second quarter is 530 documents, or a total of 1,049 documents, Your Honor.
Counsel, the copy you gave me is different from what you just read. The copy I have is Exhibits P1-8-849 to P1-8 to 1898. And it covers ARs for the period February 6 to March 29, 2023 for the first quarter, and April 25 to June 30, 2023 for the second quarter. That is different from what you are showing on the screen, counsel.
Yes, Your Honor. My bad. It's what is flashed on the screen, Your Honor. The presiding officer is correct, Your Honor. But in any event, these are the same number of documents, totaling 1,049.
I bring that up, counsel, because that is, I guess, the same copy that counsel for the respondent has, what I have. Would that be correct?
No, Your Honor. We have our own copies of the
No,
exhibits.
do you have
which
the
would
same? Is the copy that counsel for the panel of prosecutors? Is it
Yes,
the same
yes.
copy?
The list, Your Honor, yes.
The
We
same
confirm
copy as
that.
the presiding officer has, not the one flashed on the screen.
Yes, Your Honor. I confirm that.
So you're asking for stipulation for the ones I mentioned, the ARs for the periods I mentioned, February 6 to March 29, 2023, and April 25 to June 30, 2023. Do you stipulate, counsel?
We do not stipulate, Your Honor.
Move on, Attorney Kapunan.
Your Honor, in connection with this, as in the first witness yesterday, since the presiding officer did point us to the particular provision in the rules of court, which is Rule 130, 3C and 3D, Your Honor, with reference to voluminous documents which would take a lot of time for this honorable court, Your Honor, summaries will be allowed to be marked. So just to mention ahead of time that
is
we
correct,
will not
counsel.
be presenting 10,049 documents, but the summary, a tabulation prepared by this witness, Your Honor.
That is in Section 3C in relation to Section 7.
Yes, Your Honor.
The court will allow it as it has allowed it yesterday.
Thank you, Your Honor. Next is Exhibit P-1-12-G, which is a certification of the VP SPG, Your Honor. VP SPG certification dated April 4, 2024, which is Defense Exhibit 1-91, stipulated, Your Honor.
We stipulate, Your Honor.
Duly noted.
We have the Protective Intelligence Operation Report for the engagement of respondents Duterte and the Vice Presidential Security and Protection Group for the first quarter of 2023. And these are exhibits P-1-12-H up to P-12-H-9, which is Defense Exhibit 1-115 OVP and series, Your Honor. We have been told that Council will not stipulate to this, Your Honor.
That is correct, Your Honor.
May we know the reason, Your Honor?
Your Honor, we do not stipulate on this because these documents that they marked are incomplete. Hence, they will not truthfully reflect, Your Honor, what the document is. So we do not stipulate, Your Honor.
Actually, to abbreviate the proceedings, counsel, no reason need be given by opposing counsel. Since stipulation is a voluntary act on their part, they may refuse, and any refusal should not be taken against them as well, although it will abbreviate the proceedings. Please proceed, counsel.
Next, Your Honor, is Protective Intelligence Operations Report for the engagements of Respondent Duterte from the Vice Presidential Security Protection Group for the second quarter of 2023, Exhibits P-1-12-M to P-12-M-13, which is Defense Exhibit 115 OVP and series, again, not stipulated upon by the defense, Your Honor.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Move on, counsel. Duly noted. Move on.
Moving on to the third quarter, incidentally, these documents previously mentioned are for the first and second quarter of 2023 Office of the Vice President. We now turn on to the third quarter of 2023 Office of the Vice President. The first exhibit is Audit Observation Memorandum, or AOM, dated August 8, 2024. Prosecution's Exhibit P-1-12-I, Defense Exhibit 1-106, OVP, stipulated upon.
We stipulate, Your Honor.
Noted.
Exhibit P-1-12-J, which is the Office of the Vice President's response dated August 27, 2024. Defense Exhibit 116, OVP and series, not stipulated, Your Honor.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Exhibits P-1-8-1899 up to P-1-8-2672. Acknowledgement receipts for the period July 14 to September 30, 2023 for the third quarter. Not stipulated upon, Your Honor.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Noted.
P-1-12-K, a certification dated September 30, 2023. Defense Exhibit 1-116 OVP and series, not stipulated upon.
Counsel?
Sorry, I think...
Certification dated September 30, 2023.
That is stipulated, Your Honor. Not stipulated.
I'm sorry?
It
Not
is both
stipulated,
Not stipulated.
It is not stipulated, Counsel.
Yes, not stipulated.
Not stipulated.
Exhibits, thank you. Exhibit P-1-12-11 up to P-1-12-110. Protective Intelligence Operations Report. Third quarter of 2023, which is an attachment to the OVP's response dated August 27, 2024, not stipulated upon.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Notice of disallowance.
Before you continue, counsel, I remember, Attorney Christine, that you had 8 of these proposed documents for stipulation you will not stipulate on.
Actually, Your Honor,
more.
it's 10.
10.
Yes.
With the permission of Attorney Kapunan, let's try to abbreviate the proceedings. What are the remaining 2 that you will not stipulate on?
Your Honor, it's Exhibits P-1-17-5 to P-1-17-1229.
These are the acknowledgement receipts
Yes,
for the
Your
period
Honor.
of February 20 to March 30, 2023 and April 20 to June 29, 2023.
Correct, Your Honor.
And the last one?
And the last one is the acknowledgement receipts for the period July 12 to September 30, 2023, Your Honor. Marked as Exhibits P-1-17, 1233 to P-1-17, 1894.
The rest you stipulate on.
Correct, Your Honor.
Which I will read for the record. With the permission of Attorney Lorna, counsel
Your
for the
Honor.
panel of prosecutors. Counsel for respondent stipulates on the following documents. Exhibit P-1-13-F, Notice of Disallowance, dated March 31, 2026, also marked as exhibits, the Respondent's Exhibit 1-9. Exhibit P-1-21B, Response dated April 17, 2024, marked as Respondent's Exhibit 1-90. Exhibit P-I-22A, Certification dated 11 January 2024, issued by Colonel Manaros M. Boransing II, marked as Respondent Exhibit 1-74. Exhibit P-I-1-22B, Certification dated December 30, 2023, issued by Colonel Carlos B. Sangdaan Jr., marked as likewise marked as Respondent Exhibit 1-75. Exhibit P-1-22C, Certification dated December 5, 2023, issued by Colonel Magtanggol Panopio, also marked as Respondent's Exhibit 1-76. Exhibit P-1-22D for the prosecution, and Exhibit 1-84DE for the respondent, a certification issued, undated certification issued by Colonel Adonis Bajao or Bahao. Exhibit P-1-21C, AUM dated August 8, 2024, also marked as Exhibit 1-106 OVP. Exhibit P-1-21D, response dated August 27, 2024, also respondents 1-93DE exhibit. Exhibit P-1-22E, certification dated September 25, 2023, issued by Jaicris Jan P. Mendoza. Also respondents Exhibit 1-97DE. Exhibit P-1-22F, certification dated December 10, issued also by Jaicris Jan Mendoza. Also respondents 1-96-DE. Exhibit P-1-22G, certification dated December 12, 2023, issued by Adonis R. Bajao. Also respondents Exhibit 1-94DE. And finally, Exhibit P-1-22H, certification dated July 1, 2024, issued by Darren E. Comia. Also respondents Exhibit 1-95-DE. Would that be correct, Attorney Christine?
Yes, Your Honor. We confirm the enumeration, Your Honor.
You may proceed, counsel.
Thank you for that, Mr. Presiding Officer. But for the better understanding of this honorable court, the acknowledgement receipts which counsel for the defense has not agreed to testify on are as follows, Your Honor. For the first quarter, for the Office of the Vice President, that's 519 documents. For the second quarter, 530 documents. For the third quarter of 2023, 774 documents, Your Honor. And if we include the 845 documents identified by Mr. Wamil yesterday, for the fourth quarter of 2022, this court will have to appreciate that counsel for the defense refused to stipulate on, well, it is the right, 2,668 documents, Your Honor. And for the DepEd, Your Honor, for the first quarter of 2023, 561 acknowledgement receipts. For the second quarter, Your Honor, 619 acknowledgement receipts. And for the third quarter, 644 acknowledgement receipts. Or to summarize, 1,824 acknowledgement receipts of the Department of Education Office, which they themselves submitted to the COA-ICFAO, or a total for the Office of the Vice President and the DepEd, 4,492 documents contained in 15 boxes, Your Honor.
Hindi mo naman siguro kami tinatakot, Attorney Gapunan.
Ay, hindi po. I am,
Kindly proceed, counsel.
And also, Your Honor, the reason I made manifestation of this is we will not present the 15 boxes. We will present, the witness will identify this, but we will be presenting in lieu thereof 3 tabulations. 4. 6. 6 summaries, Your Honor. 6 summaries prepared by this witness for the 4,492 documents, Your Honor, which will be identified in due course of the testimony together with the acknowledgement receipt, Your Honor. With the permission of this honorable court.
As earlier ruled by the court, we will allow the witness to testify from a table and or summaries given the voluminous nature of the documents that she may or will be testifying to. Counsel may proceed with her direct examination. Offer rather first.
Your Honor, please. We likewise request the following stipulations, Your Honor, in addition to these documents, that the witness has taken over the audit of the liquidation documents of the Office of the Vice President for December 21 to 31, 2022, and the first to third quarters of 2023.
Counsel took over from what?
From Mr. Wamil.
From December, meaning he took over.
The document has taken over the audit liquidation documents turned over by Mr. Wamil for this period, Your Honor.
Presumably when Mr. Wamil retired?
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you give the date when she took over? Mr. Wamil retired February of 2024, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, Your Honor. February 12, 2024.
Up to today?
Up to the present, Your Honor, where he now serves in the COA Pasay, Your Honor.
What does counsel for the respondent say?
Your Honor, we cannot stipulate on that because we are not from COA, so we're not privy, Your Honor, to any of the resolutions or memoranda that were issued with respect to the assignment of their employees, Your Honor.
Witness can testify to that later on. Move on for your other requested stipulations, counsel. If any.
That the witness is competent to testify as to the documents that they themselves, the Office of the Vice President and the DepEd, submitted by way of liquidation documents to the COA ICFAO.
Can I comment on that, Your Honor?
Yes.
We will not stipulate on that, Your Honor, because they have to establish the competence of that witness to identify the documents.
Move on, counsel.
Your Honor, we will not proceed with the other stipulations because counsel does not seem to be in the mood to stipulate this afternoon, Your Honor.
Your Honor,
It has no relation with mood, counsel.
Okay, we will now go
The
on.
counsel for the respondent is well within their rights
Correct,
to
Your
refuse
Honor.
stipulation because this is purely mutual on the part of both parties. Your time will come too. Please proceed with your offer, counsel.
This testimony of this witness, Your Honor, is being offered for the following. First, that Ms. Silene May L. Del Campo is a state auditor of the Commission on Audit, Intelligence, and Confidential Funds Audit Office. Second, that Ms. Del Campo was assigned to take over the audit of the OVP's liquidation of its confidential funds from Attorney Roderick Wamil, Your Honor. For easy appreciation of this honorable court, the purposes are being flashed on the screen, Your Honor. In this, well, that siya po ang nagtuloy ng inumpisahan ni Mr. Roderick Wamil na evaluation ng confidential funds.
Chair would just like to correct the earlier statement with your indulgence, Attorney Kapunan. Mr. Wamil did not retire on February 2024. He was transferred to another office within
Yes,
COA.
Your Honor.
Yes, please proceed.
That Ms. Del Campo evaluated the response of the Office of the Vice President to the notice of suspension dated December 13, 2023, which was issued in relation to the OVP's liquidation of its confidential funds for December 2022. Number 4, that this witness found that the response of the Office of the Vice President to the notice of suspension dated December 13, 2023 is a violation and still non-compliant with Joint Circular 2015-01. Number 5, that it was pursuant to this witness evaluation and recommendations that the notice of disallowance dated August 8, 2024 was issued by the Office of the Vice President. Number 6, that Ms. Del Campo took over the audit of the Office of the Vice President responses to the Audit Observation Memorandum dated February 1, 2024, covering the first and second quarters of 2023, and AOM dated August 8, 2024, covering the third quarter of 2023. That thereafter, a notice of disallowance dated March 31, 2026 was issued to the Office of the Vice President for the liquidation of its confidential funds covering the first to the third quarter of 2023. This witness also took over the audit of the Department of Education's responses to the Audit Observation Memorandum dated February 1, 2024. This covers the period the first quarter and the second quarter of 2023, and an AOM dated August 8, 2024, which covers the third quarter of 2023 for the Department of Education. Likewise, Your Honor, this witness will testify and authenticate such other documents and will attest to such other matters as are relevant and material to this impeachment case.
Comment on the part of counsel for respondent?
Subject to cross-examination, Your Honor.
Subject to cross, counsel may proceed with her direct when she is ready.
Thank you. Thank you, counsel. Madam Witness, can you again please state, pakisabi ulit, anong pangalan natin, your age, your occupation, and other personal circumstances?
I am Cyrene May L. Del Campo, 36 years old, a state auditor currently assigned in the Intelligence and Confidential Fund Audit Office of the Commission on Audit.
Okay. Will you be testifying in English or Filipino or both, Madam Witness?
In both languages po.
Okay. With that permission, Your Honor. Please tell us, Madam Witness, Miss Cyrene, ano ba ang educational background natin?
Ako po ay nagtapos ng Bachelor of Science in Accountancy degree sa St. Louis University po.
Okay. And you said earlier that ngayon ikaw ay state auditor na ng COA, ICFAO, Intelligence and Confidential Funds Audit Office, correct?
Opo.
Okay. Can you tell us, before you became state
Oras po
auditor
natin mga kasama, 5 minutes if we're heading to in the afternoon at nagpapatuloy pa rin po ang 13th day 13 ng impeachment trial kay Vice President Sara Duterte at kasalukuyan po ipipresenta na ng prosecution ng kanilang next witness. Ito po si Cyrene May Del Campo, State Auditor ng COA, and siya po yung nag-take over ng naiwan ni dating COA, ECFAO, itong state auditor na si Roderick Wamil patungkol po doon sa confidential funds ng OVP at ng DepEd. At pinapakilala pa lamang po siya ngayon ni House Private Prosecutor Attorney Lorna Capunan. But before that kanina, yung may mga stipulate silang yung prosecution and then the defense, nag-stipulate sila sa mga documents na iprenisenta po ni Attorney Kapunan. Yung mga documents pong yun ay yung sinumite po from the OVP, and yung total po ng I think ang total documents na kanilang nagaling po doon na nakalagay sa 15 boxes ay nasa 4,492 documents, pero ay sa manifestation ni Attorney Kapunan, hindi po nila ito ipipresenta ng napakarami po kasi hindi nila ipipresent yung 15 boxes, and yung witness po will identify and they will present 6 summaries na lang na kumbaga pinaghanda o inihanda po nitong si Wamil before he left the office, and para dun sa 4,492 documents. And aside from that, may mga attachment pa po yun na documents, and then ipipresent po yun through kay Saylinda Ocampo na dahil siya po yung nag-take over ng nasabing posisyon ni Wamil, since na siya po ay kumbaga inilipat sa ibang office ng Commission Audit OCOA. Yan mga kasama, at tantabayan po natin si Radyoman Jenny Pahilanga sa pagpapatuloy pa rin po ng ating impeachment trial kay Vice President Sara Duterte. Ito po si Radyoman Alex Foraque, 3 minutes before hitting 2 in the afternoon.
That time check was brought to you by ACS Manufacturing Corporation, ISO certified world-class quality.
ACS.
That time check was brought to you by ACS Manufacturing Corporation, ISO certified world-class quality.
ACS.
That portion was brought to you by MX3. Dito ako believe.
Si Mommy at si Washing Machine believe sa Pride Washing Machine Detergent.
Hello, Washi!
Hello, Mommy!
Laundry day na naman. Ready ka na sa mancha, chocolate, putik, libag?
Kaya yan ang Pride Washing Machine Detergent. May triple stain-away formula. Tanggal ang makapit, madikit, at malupit na dumit mancha. Easy ang labada.
Mula noon hanggang ngayon.
All you need is pride. All you need is pride.
Pride Detergent, manufactured by ACS Manufacturing Corporation. ISO certified, world-class quality.
ACS.
Santon Vitamin C, ang alkaline na vitamin C.
Ako si Yvonne, isang estudyante. Laki ang pasasalamat ko sa Santon Vitamin C. Pagbuklat ko pa lang ng module ko dati, inaantok na ako. Sa ngayon, araw-araw na akong ganado at always alert.
Santon Vitamin C, ang alkaline na vitamin C. Mabibili sa pinakamalapit na butika sa inyong lugar.
Mula sa #1 Smart Dishwashing Paste.
Ang galing-galing mo! Smart Dishwashing Paste ko! Pritong ulam na masebo, plato at kaldero. Tanggaling for everyday.
Ganyan pag Smart ang dishwashing paste. May double tanggaling formula. Tanggal galing ang sebo at bacteria.
Bahid para walang bahid, linis fantastic sa metal at plastic. #1 ko to! Tanggaling-galing mo! Smart Dishwashing Paste.
Heavy duty linis bawat pahid.
Smart Dishwashing Paste, manufactured by ACS Manufacturing Corporation. ISO certified, world-class quality.
ACS.
Santon Plus Gold.
Mga pala si Tony. Problema ko ang paglaki ng aking prostate. Nang malaman ko ang kaepektibo ng Santon Plus Gold, sinubukan ko ito at sa loob lamang ng 2 buwan, lumiit na ang prostate ko at nakakalakad na ako.
Santon Plus Gold. Mas pinalakas, pinagaling, pinahusay. Santon Plus Gold. Mabibili sa mga butika.
This is a band known as Toast.
Baby, I'ma want you. Baby, I'ma need you.
Toast is the best of bread, bringing back the much-loved hits of soft rock band Bread.
If the phrase could launch 1,000 ships, then where
Toast, with their feel-good, spot-on sound of the original recordings of Bread, performing with special guest Noel Cabangon, August 12 at the Smart Araneta Coliseum. Tickets at ovationtickets.com. Relive those precious memories with the ultimate Bread experience. Toast, the best of bread, live.
found a diary underneath the tree.
From Ovation Productions, Blast TV, and DZXL 558.
Catch Toast The Best of Bread, live at the Smart Araneta Coliseum on August 12 and at the Waterfront Cebu City Hotel on August 15, 2026 with special guest Noel Cabangon. Tickets to Toast's feel-good concerts that are sure to bring all the memories flooding back are available through ovationtickets.com. Presented by Ovation Productions in cooperation with Blast TV and DZXL 558 Manila.
Samphon Plus Herbal Capsule.
Ako si Roy, taga Santa Rosa, Laguna. Malabo yung mata ko. Sabi ng doktor, may glaucoma daw ako. Pero tinry kong uminom ng Santon Plus Herbal Capsule. Inaraw-araw ko, nawala yung glaucoma. Nabis talaga yung Santon Plus Herbal Capsule.
Samphon Plus. Mabibili sa mga butika.
Ang kinis na niya. In fairness, nag-glow up. May budget.
So solid. White Rose Papaya, wow. White Rose. White Rose Papaya, wow. White Rose. White Rose Papaya. May glow up with the White Rose Papaya.
Sulit ang glow up sa White Rose Papaya. May papaya, niacinamide para sa puti power times 2. Plus shea butter and tea tree oil.
Glow up by the power of 2.
White Rose Papaya. Kuti sulit ang glow up. Regular use helps. Results may vary. White Rose Papaya. Manufactured by ACS ISO certified world-class quality.
ACS.
Magandang kalusugan po sa inyo lahat. Ito po si Master James Alejandro na nag-aanyaya sa inyo na ugaliing makinig sa kaagapay sa kalusugan. Hatid po sa atin ng Herbs and Nature Corporation. Pag-usapan po natin ang wastong pangangalaga ng ating kalusugan. Kaagapay ang mga magagandang herbal at natural na suplemento para sa maayos na pangangatawan. Kaagapay sa kalusugan. Tayo po ay napakikinggan. Ganap na alas 4 ng hapon mula Lunes hanggang Biyernes. Kaagapay sa kalusugan. Hatid sa atin ng Herbs and Nature Corporation. Maraming salamat po.
Mamma mia, here I go again.
Manila, get ready. Celebrate 50 years of Dancing Queen with the world's #1 ABBA show. It's a sing-along, dance-along extravaganza packed with all the hits and all the fun. Saturday, August 8th and Sunday 9th at the Theater at Soler, Manila. Tickets available now to Soler Box Office, Ticket World outlets, and online. You will have the time of your life. Presented by Concert Republic.
Marumi ba ang iyong dugo? Huwag magpabaya kaibigan. Mag-Santon Plus Gold na. Santon Plus Gold. Dahil ito'y subok na makatutulong sa iba't ibang uri ng karamdaman. Ang Santon Plus Gold ay merong ampalaya, mangosteen, malunggay, spirulina at garlic. Kaya mag-Santon Plus Gold na. Mabibili sa mga butika.
Ito ang DZXL News. 558 kHz. 6 na dekadang maaasahan sa balita at serbisyo publiko. Ang himpilan ng RMN Network sa Mega Manila. Live sa radyo at online. Ang paglilitis sa Pangalawang Pangulo. RMN Networks Special Coverage.
Oras 2:04, magandang hapon, ako po si Radyo Manjani Pahilanga at pagpapatuloy po natin ang ating special coverage ang paglilitis sa Pangalawang Pangulo, the RMN Network Special Coverage. Sa mga oras na ito po ay nakasalang po si Auditor Sailin May del Campo ang pumalit po kay Attorney Wamil po mula dyan sa COA at siya po ay sumasala ngayon sa direct examination ni Attorney Lorna Capunan. Balikan po natin ang ika-13 araw po ng impeachment trial ni Vice President Sara Duterte sa Senado.
Ang paglilitis sa Pangalawang Pangulo. Ang paglilitis sa Pangalawang Pangulo. RMN Networks Special Coverage.
Magkasama ang tabayanan lamang po natin ang ating live feed po mula dyan sa bahagi ng Senado kung saan ay nakasalang po ngayon si Ms. Sailin May del Campo at sa pagkapatuloy pa rin po ng Article 1 ng impeachment trial ng confidential funds po ng DepEd-NAT at ng Office of the Vice President. Si Ms. Sailin po, Auditor Sailin May del
Campo ang siyang pumalit po kay Attorney Wamil dyan po sa ating po namang bahagi ng COA ICPAO. At siya po ay nakasala ngayon para sa direct examination po ng prosecution. At kanina nga po, bago magtapos si Ranjaman Alex Foraque, ay si Attorney Lorna Capunan po ang nagbibigay po ng direct examination sa ating witness na auditor po ng COA, Commission on Audit ICPAO. Ayan. So antabay po tayo sa mga magaganap pa rin po at sa kabuuan ng Day 13 na po tayo ngayon, araw ng Miyerkules, August 5, 2026, dyan po sa bahagi ng Senado. Po, antabay kayo at mamaya rin po ay malaman natin ang kabuuan din po ng balitang yan mula kay Ranjaman Conde Batak, Excel Ranjaman Sais Conde Batak. At sa mga nanonood po, live ho tayo ngayon sa Facebook, sa YouTube, sa TikTok at sa X. Paki-like and share po ang aming special coverage na ito, the RMN Network News, ang paglilitis sa Pangalawang Pangulo. Kayo po ay tumutok mga kasama upang kayo po ay makibalita at malaman ang impeachment trial po, ang paglilitis ng Pangalawang Pangulo sa mga oras na ito. At habang yan po ay napapanood po ninyo, ayan, may mga tinitingnan pong dokumento ang auditor po na si Miss Auditor Sailin May Del Campo ng COA ICPAO. Habang chine-check po niya yung mga dokumento na sala ngayon sa kanya, ay antabay po tayo at magkakaroon po ng pagpapatuloy na direct examination po ang prosecution. At kanina nga po ay sa pangunguna po yan ng ating si Attorney Lorna Capunan. Bahagi pa rin po ito mga kasama ng Article 1 ng Confidential Funds. At kahapon nga po ay nakasalang si Attorney Wamil. Ito pong si Miss Sailin May Del Campo ang siyang pumalit po kay Attorney Wamil. Ayan po sa kanyang pagiging auditor tungkulin po sa COA ICPAO. Ayan po, at tayo po ay malalaman natin kung ano po ang mga dokumento maya-maya po na ipinipresenta sa ating po namang witness na nakasala ngayon. At antabay po kayo sa mga report pa rin ng ating mga radyoman. Ayan, sige po. Tayo antabay lamang habang tinitingnan po. Ayan, at magkaroon na tayo ng ilang mga paalaala magkasama, balikan po natin yan. Maya-maya po ang kabuuan pa rin ng impeachment trial po, ang paglilitis po sa ating Pangalawang Pangulo, the RMN Network Special Coverage, habang tinitingnan po ni Miss Sailin May Del Campo ang mga dokumento po bilang siya po ang witness na nakasalang sa direct examination ng prosecution. Saglit lang po mga kasama, oras po natin 2:08.
Ang paglilitis sa Pangalawang Pangulo. RMN Networks Special Coverage.
That news was brought to you by ACS Manufacturing Corporation, ISO certified world-class quality.
ACS.
Two iconic voices, one unforgettable night. Relive the soundtrack of love as Claire Marlowe
I look into your eyes, so far away.
and Rick Price
She's always on my mind. From the time I wake up till I close my eyes.
take the stage for a heartwarming evening of timeless hits. Happening on September 11 at L. Fisher Ballroom in Bacolod. September 13 at Grand Ballroom of Waterfront Hotel in Cebu City. And September 15 at the theater at Solaire. Get your tickets today at Ticket World and at the Solaire box office. This event is brought to you by DMC Philippines and DZXL 558.
DZXL 558. Ang paglilitis sa Pangalawang Pangulo. RMN Networks Special Coverage.
Oras natin 2:10 mga kasama, antabay po tayo sa bahagi po ng Senado sa ating special coverage po ng RMN sa ang paglilitis sa Pangalawang Pangulo. Mga kasama ay nagkaroon po ng panunumpa si Commission on Audit Intelligence and Confidential Funds Audit Office or COA-ICFAO State Auditor Sailin Del Campo bilang bagong testigo po ngayon sa Day 13 ng nagpapatuloy na impeachment trial ni Vice President Sara Duterte ngayong araw nito ng August 5. At kanina nga po ay bago tayo magbigay ng paalaala, may mga pinapakita po kay Auditor Sailin Del Campo ng mga dokumento. Antabayanan po natin pagka ay magiging bahagi po ng direct examination ng prosecution. At kanina nga po ay nakita po natin si Attorney Lorna Capuna nang siya pong nakasalang dyan para sa direct examination sa ating auditor. Kanina rin po ay naging bahagi ng impeachment trial at ito po ay nasa ating DZXL News din sa ating mga balita at nagkaroon din po ng pabiro na pagturan nga po itong si okay po, balikan po natin ang Senado sa ating Day 13 po ng impeachment trial.
Ang paglilitis sa Pangalawang Pangulo. RMN Networks Special Coverage.
Patuloy pa rin po na tinitingnan at mabuti ni Auditor Sailin Del Campo ang mga dokumento po ang pinipresenta sa kanya. At habang nakikita niyo po sa ating screen, at mukhang marami-rami pa po ito na mga ipinapakitang dokumento sa kanya. Bigyan ko lang po kayo ng ilang bahagi. Kanina po ay tinuran nga din po ni Attorney Lorna Capunan, bahagi po ng prosecution ng plenary ng Senado na umano'y wala po sa mood. Yun po yung kanyang winika kanina o sinabi po ni Attorney Lorna Capunan ang depensa pagdating po sa napagkasundo ang dokumento. Ito ilang bahagi lang po kanina bago sumalang si Auditor Sailin Sailin Del Campo bilang witness po ngayon dyan sa Day 13 ng impeachment trial. Ito po yung nangyari kanina na pag-usapan sa patuloy na paglilitis kay Vice President. Mga kasama, narito po.
For the respondent, we will be adjourning in a few minutes for our afternoon session. So to be able to move on somewhat, the court directs that Hailin go over these documents after today's trial so that when she continues her testimony on Monday, that she can already testify as to those documents, if indeed those are the same documents that she reviewed, perused, and were turned over to her by Attorney Wamil. In the meantime, counsel, perhaps you can proceed with the table of or the summary prepared by either Mr. Wamil or the witness before we call for adjournment. At least napakinggan natin si Ms. Hailin.
Your Honor, just a quick manifestation, Your Honor.
Yes, counsel for respondent.
Yes, Your Honor. We noted that the list of accounts, which was supposed to be prepared by Mr. Wamil, with the caption OVP, open parenthesis, December 21 to 31, 2022, close parenthesis, was unsigned and it was undated. Second, the witness is merely flipping the pages without comparing the ARs with the list, Your Honor, to check whether the ARs are the same with what was listed by Mr. Wamil, Your Honor. And the third one is that we note that the folders containing the ARs were not marked as exhibits of the prosecution, Your Honor. For the record, Your Honor.
Duly noted. However, the witness may testify as to the summary and or table if she's aware of it and if indeed it was part of the documents turned over to her by Mr. Wamil. Counsel for the panel of prosecutors.
Your Honor, we are tempted to make a counter manifestation, Your Honor. Because, Your Honor, these manifestations, Your Honor, are because of their own doing, Your Honor. But in any event,
I hope you won't give in to the temptation, counsel.
I will not. I will not, Your Honor. It's the wisdom of age. I will not.
Let's get something out
Yes,
of
Your
Ms.
Honor.
Hailin.
In fact, Your Honor, may I continue? May we continue to aid this honorable presiding officer, that during the interregnum from today's proceedings until Monday, there will be other tabulations, Your Honor, and there will be other acknowledgement receipts. And we propose, Your Honor, and regret that this is not unusual, but it is necessary, Your Honor, that all of these documents, because counsel says that this witness was just flipping over them. They can do this in front of the defense counsels and us, Your Honor, for the next succeeding days, because we will be going over 4,492 documents and six summaries, Your Honor. Hopefully that we will be doing that in the next days out of court, so that by Monday it will be a speedier presentation of testimonial evidence, Your Honor.
If you're converting that in, are you making a motion, counsel?
Yes, Your Honor, may we so move that we be allowed to do this, not only as respect to the last quarter of December 2022, which is suggestion of the presiding officer, but to all the quarters, quarter 1, 2, and 3 for the OVP, and quarter 1, 2, and 3 for the DepEd.
Only with respect to the acknowledgement receipts.
Only with respect to, Your Honor, the acknowledgement, the acknowledgement receipts, Your Honor.
Aside from the asked for transfer of markings this afternoon, wala naman kayong mga appointment ng Webes at Biyernes, di ba?
Your Honor, can I comment
Yes,
on that, Your
counsel
Honor?
for the respondent.
Your Honor, under the rules, the witness has to identify the document in open court. The problem with their stipulation, Your Honor, is that they will be having the witness identify the documents out of court. So therefore, it is no longer part of the trial. And there's a problem when it comes to the offer. There will be a problem when it comes to their offer of evidence, Your Honor. And with regard to the counter manifestation or the statement of counsel that we want to, look at the witness while she's flipping the document, Your Honor. Precisely, that is what we are doing right now, Your Honor. So we object to the proposal that the examination of the ARs be done outside the court, Your Honor.
I think the purpose...
Your Honor, please,
counsel for Attorney Kapunan, the court views it perhaps as an opportunity to provide an avenue for possible stipulation as to the ARs that you did not stipulate on. Because if I remember correctly, the reason why the ARs presented earlier, the 845, under the witness, Mr. Attorney Wamil, was that the observation of the respondent was it was simply contained in a folder, transparency on a folder, and that there was no real sequence to it. So perhaps we can set a date for possible stipulation on the ARs, not really for the witness to confirm it, but for possible stipulation on the ARs, if the respondent is open to it.
Your Honor, unfortunately, we will not stipulate, Your Honor. We didn't stipulate in the case of Wamil, Your Honor. The same position is maintained, Your Honor, in the case of this witness, Your Honor, because after the ARs have been submitted to the Commission of Audit, Your Honor, the OVP and the DepEd no longer had control over these ARs. So therefore, we do not know what were the receipts that were provided by the COA and how many receipts were given by the COA to the prosecution, Your Honor. And second, these are not common exhibits because we did not mark those documents or ARs as our own. We didn't adopt them as our own evidence, Your Honor. And third, the ARs that were presented or are being presented now by the prosecution have not been compared with our own copies, Your Honor. So we cannot determine with certainty, Your Honor, if their ARs are actually identical with our copies, Your Honor.
Counsel, that is precisely the opportunity the court is opening a chance for you to do so, to compare it with your copies of your ARs. Again, if you so desire. I mean, this is only for the purpose
Your Honor,
of
please,
expediting.
If I may, Your Honor.
Counsel for respondent will please respond first to the query of the presiding officer before I recognize Attorney Kapunan. Yes, Attorney Christine, so you do not want to take the opportunity to compare your copies of the ARs with their copies of the ARs as submitted to COA or as allegedly submitted to COA?
Your Honor, upon discussion with the team, Your Honor, unfortunately, we cannot do that.
Noted. Attorney Gabunan, what is your pleasure?
With due indulgence, Your Honor, now I will give in to my temptation. First, Your Honor, what is happening now could have been prevented had we done this exercise during the pretrial. When the clerk of court asked for stipulation on documents, these included stipulations on the acknowledgement receipts. That was the opportune time for the defense counsel to have examined page by page, receipt by receipt, the faithful reproduction of the COA AR copies with their own copy, Your Honor. They passed upon this opportunity. Now that we want it done more expeditiously by a motion that I have proposed, which incidentally I wish to amend, that because of their objection to it being an out of court, may we amend my motion, Your Honor, that it be done in front of the clerk of court and that the clerk of court be duly authorized by authority of the Honorable Impeachment Court to preside over the sessions, Your Honor. The same way as clerks of court, designated officers can mediate between the parties as to a possible amicable settlement or stipulation. And this will be, Your Honor, and I'm sorry, I'm seeing
Please
them
continue, counsel.
nodding in acceptance of the motion. Unfortunately,
I think quite the opposite, counsel, because he's not looking forward to the workload.
Your
But please
Honor,
proceed.
please. And so, if that is done, Your Honor, then we will be making more efficient use of the time of this honorable court. The marking, the identification by this witness, the comparison of both the prosecution markings.
These
and the
ARs have
defense
not been
markings.
individually marked, counsel?
They have been marked, Your Honor.
Counsel, for the
matter of
respondent,
fact-
you said they were not yet marked, the ones being showed to the witness.
No, Your Honor. They were marked already, Your Honor, but we also have our own marked copies, Your Honor.
They were marked, but you also have.
So, meaning, Your Honor, we have separate documents or ARs that were marked, Your Honor.
That is precisely my point,
Your
counsel.
Honor, please.
That is precisely my point, counsel. Before the clerk of court, this is like an extended or additional pre-trial. Perhaps this can be done before the clerk of court.
Yes,
You
Your
need
Honor.
not stipulate to all, only to those that exactly the same as your copies. It can be 10 out of 845, 844 out of 845. I do not know, really, quite frankly. But would rather give you the opportunity than litigate this in open court, piece by piece, similar to the stipulation asked for by the counsel for the panel of prosecutors. In relation to the witness viewing it or looking at it, if it is stipulated, then there is no need for her to actually peruse, go through, or look at it for long periods of time, only with respect to the questioned ones or those not stipulated to by the counsel for respondent. I think the court is inclined to allow for this one more opportunity to stipulate as to the acknowledgement receipts. Again, there is no it is not mandatory. The court is not forcing the counsel for respondent to stipulate on documents they refuse and don't want to stipulate. But since you have your own copies of ARs, and since the issue pertains to the chain of custody, after you submitted it to the COA, then the court would like to afford you the opportunity to compare it. Again, you need not stipulate on anything. You don't have to stipulate on a single one. But the court would rather give one more chance or one more time to try to do this, to save on the court's time, without prejudice, again, to to the respondent or counsel for respondent saying that they refuse to stipulate because they are different from the copies that they have. Counsel?
Yes, Your Honor. Actually, we will agree to that proposal, Your Honor, but we provided, Your Honor, that we will not be forced to stipulate that the ARs are authentic, etc. And then the date and time, Your Honor, shall be mutually agreed upon by the parties.
Of course.
Of course, Your Honor. I think
Of course, the date and time should be mutually agreed upon between Thursday and Friday.
Your Honor, please. You asked for it.
Because
Your
insofar
Honor,
as
please.
this witness is concerned, or give me one date on one time slot on Thursday and Friday which you can agree on after we adjourn.
Your Honor, please, if I may add as well. In the marking of these exhibits, Your Honor, before the Honorable Clerk of Court, each acknowledgement receipt had 3 signatures. The signature of the Clerk of Court, the signature of one of the representatives for the prosecution, and the signature of the defense counsel, Your Honor. 3 signatures per document. And now they still want, they had signed each of these acknowledgement receipts, Your Honor. That's number 1. Number 2, Your Honor, perhaps to restore a level of trust on the side of the defense, maybe we can even use their own documents. If they do not trust the prosecution's documents or photocopies of the prosecution's documents, then we will use their documents, Your Honor, because we are certain that their documents is the same as our documents. Let's use the defense documents, Your Honor. Then they will not say, we do not trust these documents because it is their own defense documents. Maybe that will solve the problem of this court. We will use your documents, counsel. Will you still question using your own documents? Will you still question the authenticity of your own documents?
Of course not, Your Honor.
Okay.
Of
Then
course not,
maybe
counsel.
that is
but
a possible solution, Your Honor. Let us use the defense documents instead of the prosecution documents. Para wag na tayong mag-compare. Thursday, Friday, manonood pa ako ng Odyssey.
I'm sorry, counsel. The presiding officer was not yet elected during the pre-trial. Hence, I did not know what went on during the pre-trial. Apparently, the respondent or counsel for respondent has a different purpose and or intention with respect to the ARs from that of the prosecutor. Therefore, that's why they refused a common marking on the same AR.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that correct? So they have their own set of ARs, and you have your own set of ARs that was marked during pretrial, correct, counsels?
that is correct, Your Honor.
Now, all that the court is asking is for an opportunity to be had by the parties once more to compare your respective marked ARs to be able to distinguish and find out if indeed they are the same or not, regardless of whatever purpose or theory each party may have with respect to presenting the ARs, given that they are common exhibits. We will not touch into that, counsel for respondents. So,
RMN Networks Special Coverage.
Mga kasama, bago po tayo magbigay ng paalaala, bigyan ko lang po kayo ng ilang detalye ng nagaganap po sa Day 13 sa mga oras na ito. No, bago tayo magbigay ng paalaala, ay pinagdidebatihan po sa bahagi ng counsel at ng prosecution. Ito nga pong pagmamarka ng kanila pong ARs or documents po from the counsel and the prosecution. At sinasabi nga po ni presiding judge, Jesus Cordero, na kinakailangan po ay mag-provide ng avenue for stipulation for ARs or possible date po for the stipulation of ARs. Kasi may kanya-kanya pong kopya, the prosecution and the counsel. Ngayon po yan ang kanilang pinag-uusapan kung pwedeng gawin ng Thursday or Friday. May sariling kopya po ang prosecution, may sariling kopya po ang counsel. No? So yun pa rin po ang kanilang pinag-uusapan at sinasabi nga ni Attorney Lorna Capunan sa bahagi po ng prosecution na ang clerk of court naman po ay nag-ask ng stipulation opportunity time sa council para examine po page by page yung kanila pong mga AORs copies. And pwede naman daw po itong gawin, ang sinasabi ni Atty. Lorna Capunan, sa harap ng clerk of court at mag-mediate po ang bawat parties. Pero hanggang sa ngayon po ay pinag-uusapan pa rin po bago tayo mag-commercial break with Presiding Judge Chis Escudero ang kanila pong mga set of ARs kasi meron po ang council, meron po ang prosecution. So mamaya hingi po tayo ng detalye pa rin dyan at mukhang tatapusin po nila sa mga ilang minuto ito pong impeachment trial ng Day 13 ni Vice President Sara Duterte. Huwag po kayong aalis mga kasama, magbibigidaan pa rin po tayo sa balita at mamaya kasama po natin din si XL Rajuman sa East Conde Batak. Oras po natin, 2:30.
That time check was brought to you by ACS Manufacturing Corporation, ISO certified world-class quality.
That portion was brought to you by MX3. Dito ako believe.
Sa panahon ngayon, kau ba'y sigurado? Kau ba'y protektado? Ang pamilya ay i-shield mo. Laban sa bakterya, i-shield mo. Laban ng pating virus, i-shield mo.
Shield Bath Soap. Patay ang 99.9% of bacteria and virus tested. Believe ang mga eksperto sa Philippine Nurses Association.
Sa sakit protektado, i-shield mo. Pamilya protektado, i-shield mo.
Shield Bath Soap, manufactured by ACS Manufacturing Corporation. ISO certified, world-class quality.
ACS.
Beauty pageants at triathlons ang buhay ko. Bonus na kapag naiuwi ko ang corona at medalya. I am Alexandra Faith Garcia, a beauty queen and triathlete. Adding MX3 capsule into my training regimen helps me a lot, together with proper diet and exercise. Having MX3 capsule is a winner for me. Dito ko believe.
Mahalagang paalala, ang MX3 capsule ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat gamiting panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit.
MX3 capsule helps avoid pain discomfort. Iwas-iwas sa sakit.
Sa panahon ngayon, kau ba'y sigurado? Kau ba'y protektado? Ang pamilya ay i-shield mo. Laban sa bakterya, i-shield mo. Laban ng pating virus, i-shield mo.
Shield Bath Soap. Patay ang 99.9% of bacteria and virus tested. Believe ang mga eksperto sa Philippine Nurses Association.
Sa sakit protektado, i-shield mo. Pamilya protektado, i-shield mo.
Shield Bath Soap, manufactured by ACS Manufacturing Corporation. ISO certified, world-class quality.
ACS.
Santon Plus Gold.
Ako si Morito na namamaga ang aking atay. Sa loob ng 2 linggo na paggamit ko ng Santon Plus Gold, nawala ang pamamaga sa aking atay. Maraming salamat sa Santon Plus Gold.
Santon Plus Gold. Mas pinalakas, pinagaling, pinahusay. Santon Plus Gold. Mabibili sa mga butika.
Mamma mia, here I go again.
Manila, get ready. Celebrate 50 years of Dancing Queen with the world's #1 ABBA show. It's a sing-along, dance-along extravaganza packed with all the hits and all the fun. Saturday, August 8th and Sunday 9th at the Theater at Soler, Manila. Tickets available now to Lair Box Office, Ticket World outlets, and online. You will have the time of your life. Presented by Concert Republic.
Para di madaling masira ang ngipin ng pamilya, ngayon pa lang,
Unique toothpaste for brushing every after kumain.
dahil ang unique toothpaste, may Max Protect formula.
Ngipin ay Max Alaga, Max Protektado pa.
Help stop cavities even before they start, while keeping breath fresh with regular use.
Unique toothpaste for brushing, para siguraduhin ngipin ay Max Alaga, Max Protektado pa. Unique
Max Alaga, Max Protectado with unique toothpaste maximum fluoride protection. Manufactured by ACS Manufacturing. ISO certified world-class quality.
ACS.
DZXL 558. Ang paglilitis sa Pangalawang Pangulo.
RMN Networks Special Coverage.
Oras natin 2:34 at balikan po natin. Ayan, ang bahagi po ng Senado sa mga oras na ito para po sa ating Day 13 pa rin po ng ang paglilitis sa Pangalawang Pangulo.
I'd like to oppose the motion for judicial notice on the following grounds. Number 1, the judicial notice rule cannot be taken of disputed matters. Number 2, the respondent must be given an opportunity to be heard by way of cross-examination before the court admits in evidence the matters covered by the TSNs, the video recordings, and the committee reports. And number 3, the proceedings before the COJ were questioned by the respondent before the Supreme Court as a fishing expedition and mini trial. On the first point, Your Honor, judicial notice cannot be taken of disputed matters. In Juan versus Juan, the Supreme Court defined judicial notice in this wise. Judicial notice is the cognizance of certain facts that judges may properly take and act on without proof because these facts are already known to them. Put differently, it is the assumption of a court of a fact without need of further traditional evidentiary support. The principle is based on convenience and expediency in securing and introducing evidence on matters which are not ordinarily capable of dispute and are not bona fide disputed. While the CGGPA and COJ hearings were made public, we do not dispute that, Your Honor. The matters discussed within them, which were documented via the TSNs, video recordings, and committee reports, are not facts automatically admissible in this impeachment trial. Rather, they remain assertions that must be proven by evidence. We note, Your Honor, that Article 1 of the Articles of Impeachment alleges the following: that respondent, Vice President Sara Duterte, committed culpable violation of the Constitution, graft and corruption, and betrayed public trust through the systematic misuse, misappropriation, and irregular liquidation of confidential funds amounting to 500 million pesos, released to the Office of the Vice President, and 112.5 million pesos released to the Department of Education. Clearly, Your Honor, these are not just statement of facts. These are accusations of misuse, misappropriation, and irregular liquidation of confidential funds which must be proven by the prosecution through presentation of evidence. In fact, Your Honor, if you noticed, the prosecution in paragraph 1 of its motion for judicial notice admitted that, I quote, prior to the transmittal of the articles of impeachment to this honorable court, the House of Representatives, through its Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability and its Committee on Justice, conducted official hearings on matters that ultimately formed the factual basis of Article 1. We highlight that, Your Honor, ultimately formed the factual basis of Article 1, which is the misuse and misappropriation of confidential funds. Okay. Article 1 of the Articles of Impeachment, as a continuation. These proceedings were officially documented through transcript of stenographic notes, or TSNs, official audio-visual recordings, and committee reports. I am just reading, Your Honor, I'm just referring to the motion of the prosecution. Thus, we cannot take the TSNs, the video recordings, and the committee reports as they are, Your Honor, without cross-examining the witnesses of the prosecution. The impeachment court cannot just take the utterances, testimonies, the questions and answers, and the interpellations during the COJ and the CGGPA hearings as factual findings and statements of truth without going through the usual route of evidence presentation. In fact, Your Honor, we are even unsure whether these videos are spliced, edited, or shortened, with due respect, and whether the TSNs are accurate and edited or modified as portions of the TSNs turned out to be different to our transcribed notes, which leads me, actually, Your Honor, to my second point. That because the matters covered by the pieces of evidence, Your Honor, which the prosecution would like this court to take judicial notice are exactly the matters that are being heard before this impeachment court, the respondent must be given an opportunity to be heard by way of cross-examination before the court admits in evidence the TSNs, the video recordings, and the committee reports. The requirement of due process is basic. It is the opportunity to be heard before the court, and affording the respondent the opportunity to cross-examine to cross-examine the authenticating witness serves a dual purpose, Your Honor. First, it validates the existence of the video recordings, the TSNs, and the committee report. And second, it verifies their accuracy and completeness. The Constitution explicitly guarantees the respondent's right to ensure that these pieces of evidence have not been altered, edited, or modified to fit the prosecution's narrative of Article 1. Consequently, the respondent is fully entitled to have all the observations, the objections, and cross-examination questions placed on record before the court admits these documents in evidence. It is also a matter of record, Your Honor, that the videos that the prosecution would like this court to take judicial notice were not played during the pre-trial conference, Your Honor. And it is with the understanding between the parties that there shall be subjected to proper authentication and identification during trial, consistent with the rules of court. And third, the respondent has directly challenged the House of Representatives Committee on Justice proceedings before the Supreme Court, Your Honor, characterizing them as a mere fishing expedition and an authorized mini trial, Your Honor. Consequently, the respondent declined to participate in these proceedings, maintaining that the HOR-COJ lacks the jurisdiction to conduct these trials. Under Article 9, Section 3, Paragraph 6 of the Constitution, the respondent submits that exclusive power and authority is vested solely with or in the Senate, Your Honor. That's why a petition for certiorari and prohibition was filed by the respondent before the Supreme Court. So we cannot stipulate, Your Honor, on the matters that were taken up in a proceeding that the respondent challenged before the Supreme Court. But crucially, Your Honor, the petition pending before the Supreme Court challenges the proceedings before the HOR-COJ only and not the actions of the Honorable Impeachment Court. This distinction, however, does not preclude any future legal challenges against actions that this court may take while sitting as an impeachment court. The respondent, Your Honor, was consistent in her position, Your Honor. In fact, in a letter dated March 24, 2026, the respondent through counsel informed the HOR-COJ that she cannot attend the mini trial and the fishing expedition being done by the said committee because of the committee's apparent lack of authority under the Constitution. The closing paragraphs of the letter state, and I will read the closing paragraphs for the record. In light of this, while the invitation for the respondent and counsel to participate in the committee's mini trial is well noted, we cannot, however, do so at this point on the ground that the committee and/or the HOR, as well as any of its members, lack jurisdiction to conduct any form of trial or exercise any of its incidents. Absent such jurisdiction, any attempt to proceed in the nature of any form of trial or invoke powers ancillary to it is unconstitutional. Consequently, the respondent puts on record her objection to any requests, motions, or similar efforts aimed at obtaining or fishing for supposed evidence through processes that necessarily presuppose the existence of lawful authority and jurisdiction under the Constitution, which in this case is absent. As timely stated in the appearance and consolidated answer, both made ad cotellam, the respondent does not waive any jurisdictional or other objections she has to these proceedings, nor her right to seek the appropriate legal remedies. Nonetheless, she is prepared to meet the charges against her in proper jurisdiction. And because of that, Your Honor, the court must decline to take judicial notice because the very validity and authority of the House of Representatives COJ proceedings are currently challenged before the Supreme Court. Now, on closing, Your Honor, on its face, actually, the motion may look like a plea for this honorable court to take judicial notice of the purported official legislative acts described by the prosecution. However, Your Honor, if you really examine the motion, Your Honor, in reality, however, the motion is actually akin to a public prosecutor, the House of Representatives, asking the criminal court, here the impeachment court, to take judicial notice of the complaint that was filed before the fiscal, here the HOR-COJ, and all matters related thereto, including those that transpired during the preliminary investigation without the need for presenting witnesses in court. That is actually what the prosecution is doing in our view, Your Honor. Dahil ang mga pandinig na ito sa House of Representatives ay siya mismong paksa ng paglilitis ng hukumang ito, at ayon mismo sa prosecution, those hearings became the factual basis for Article 1 of the Articles of Impeachment. Nararapat lamang po na ang mga TSNs, video recordings at committee reports na naglalaman ng mga tanong ng kongresista, pati na ang mga pahayag at sagot ng mga testigo ay patunayan ng prosecution sa pamamagitan ng pagpresenta ng testigo upang magpatunay sa katotohanan ng mga ito. In closing, Your Honor, would like to quote the Supreme Court in Juan versus Juan. The Supreme Court said, the article in the website cited by the RTC patently lacks a requisite for it to be of judicial notice to the court because such article is not well and authoritatively settled and is doubtful or uncertain. It must be remembered that some articles appearing in the internet or the websites are easily edited and their sources are unverifiable. Thus, sole reliance on those articles is greatly discouraged. The defense opposes the motion, Your Honor, on identical grounds. Salamat po.
Again, these are not oral arguments, Counsel. Chair had anticipated the position of the Counsel for respondent. In fact, Chair would like to clarify. The Juan versus Juan case is the Lavandera Co case, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ito yung Lavandera Co na kumpanya na nireklamo violating copyright standards. Hindi ba na nag-judicial notice yung korte sa isang internet website na may copyright o yan?
Tama po.
That is the case. Okay, Chair will now make his ruling. First, with respect to the motion to set the conference for marking objected to by respondents insofar as number 3 is concerned. P4-35 to P4-35B, but did not object to the others. So the request for transfer of markings this afternoon, insofar as the unobjected portions are granted, insofar as the objected portions are concerned, Chair will make a ruling. We will furnish the respondent and the prosecution with the written copy of the ruling through the journal of this court. The Chair will now resolve the panel of prosecutors' motion to set the conference for the transfer of exhibit markings, particularly on exhibits P-4-35 to P-4-35A and P-4-35B, which refer to the portions of the purported affidavit of Arturo Las Cañas. And after considering the objections of the Chair of the respondent, the objection is hereby denied subject to the following guidelines and reasonings. Section 34, Rule 132 of the Rules of Court provide, the court shall consider no evidence which has not been presented or formally offered. The purpose for which the evidence is offered must be specified. Accordingly, the marking, identification, or authentication of a document does not mean that the document has been formally offered or admitted for the purpose it was so stated. The physical transfer of an exhibit, designation from a provisional copy to its corresponding original or certified true copy is even more limited. It is a mechanical and ministerial act intended only to maintain the orderly identification of the court's records. The respondent is not prejudiced by this transfer. The transfer does not alter the substance or evidentiary status of the document, referring to the Las Cañas document. It does not constitute a ruling on the authenticity, admissibility, or evidentiary weight, and it does not enlarge the purpose for which the document was originally marked. The respondent therefore loses no substantive or procedural right by reason of the transfer and may raise all appropriate objections when the document is formally offered. This conclusion is consistent with the prosecution's own representation during the July 21, 2026 hearing, wherein the Honorable Luistro stated, quote, "Your Honor, the document is being presented only to seek confirmation from the witness that he is referring to this particular document as part of the investigation of the Special Task Force. We are not presenting it to prove the truthfulness of the contents of the affidavit." Close quotation. The chair likewise previously ruled, quote, again, this is only as to the fact that this is what the NBI used in their open investigation and coming up with their findings, not as to the truth of the statements being read by Director Matibag, close quotation. The chair further clarified on even date, July 21, 2026, the chair will cut short any further identifications of the witness in regard to this affidavit. This is only as to the fact that Las Cañas executed a document that they used in their open source investigation, not as to the truth of what was said. The limitations remain controlling even after the transfer of the marking of this exhibit to a certified true copy. Exhibits P-4-35, -35A, and -35B remain merely independently relevant statements only to establish that the document came to the attention of and was used by the NBI in its investigation. It may not be used as proof of the truth of the allegations stated therein. As stated in Espinelli versus People, GR number 179-535, dated 6/9/14, when the relevant fact is merely that a statement was made, the hearsay rule does not bar proof of that fact, regardless of the statement's truth or falsity. Finally, the transfer of the markings does not cure the defects already placed on the record. The purported affidavit remains unsigned, unnotarized, and not made under oath, with no witness having attested to its execution and truth of its contents. The contents of the affidavit at this time remain hearsay, the transfer of the markings notwithstanding to a certified true copy of that document. Accordingly, the clerk of the impeachment court is directed to set the requested conference as requested, I think, this afternoon, if I'm not mistaken, at 4 p.m. Now, on the motion for judicial notice, the chair will make a ruling, will grant the motion with a reminder, a stern reminder and warning. The court acting on the motion for judicial notice dated August 3, seeking judicial notice of the existence and official character of the hearings and the corresponding transcripts, audiovisual recordings, and the committee report identified therein. Section 1, Rule 129 of the rules provide, a court shall take judicial notice without need of the introduction of evidence of legislative, executive, and judicial departments of the National Government of the Philippines. As stated in CLT, the case cited by the counsel for the prosecutors, there is such, referring to a Senate committee report. The court took judicial notice of the Senate committee report, but only as to the existence of the committee report and not as to the content and truth of what was stated in the committee report. Therefore, accordingly, the court grants the requested judicial notice to be taken by the court, but solely and exclusively limited to the following facts. Number one, that the legislative hearings were actually held and under the official function of the House of Representatives, Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability, and the Committee on Justice. So to reiterate, just as to the factual existence that the hearings were indeed conducted. Number two, that the corresponding transcripts, official, audiovisual recordings, and committee report exist as official records of the proceedings and in a separate rule, therefore enjoy the regularity of official proceedings absent contrary proof that there is either fraud, falsity, or inaccuracy, and therefore which will overcome the presumption of regularity. With a warning, having granted the motion only within the foregoing limits, the chair now states in unmistakable terms the precise effect of this ruling and reminds the prosecution, and should the time come, also the respondent, if they happen to cross this line also, Rule 129 is captioned, "What need not be proved." Therefore, the court states with precision what the prosecution need not prove, only with respect to those two things. Nothing else is judicially admitted or established.
Paglilitis sa Pangalawang
The prosecution-
Pangulo.
RMN Networks Special Coverage.
Mga kasama, oras natin 2:54. Pansamantala po, iwanan lang natin saglit po ang Senado para sa pagpapaliwanag po ni Presiding Judge Escudero. Susunod po ang programa ni Ranjaman Lourdes Escaros. Doon po sa ating iwanan muna na pagpapaliwanag po ni Presiding Judge Cheese Escudero ay kanya po pinapaliwanag ito ang ruling for markings po at yung mga markings exhibit at ganoon din po yung sa bahagi po ng judicial notice at ipapahayag na lang po nila yung kanilang formal ruling po through the journal at ganoon din ang kanilang judicial notice. Pinapaliwanag po doon ngayon ni Presiding Judge Escudero bago po natin bitawan. Mamaya po abangan pa rin ninyo ang kabuuan po ng naging day 13 ng Paglilitis sa Pangalawang Pangulo mamaya po with XL Ranjuman sa East Conde Batak sa kabuuan ng programa po na susunod ni Ranjuman Lourdes Escaros sa pulso ng Metro at ilan pa rin pong mga balita natin. Ako po si Ranjuman, Jenny Pahilanga, oras po natin 2:55.
That time